We focus a lot on the role civil society played during the protests, but what role can they play now in moving Kenya forward, in securing the gains that Gen Z have managed to get?
I think the first thing is civil society is working hard. That's part of the reason we're here, to defend the space. You know, that's key. I think it's also to refocus, Olive, because one of my concerns is that, you know, and we were discussing this with Githongo and Waringa earlier, that we don't want civil society to become the story. There's a far bigger thing happening in our society as Kenyans. And, you know, in a sense, what's happening to civil society organizations, as disruptive as it is a bit of a sideshow. Kenyans are asking far more fundamental questions. You know, you look at that, this young man, Joseph Mwangi, 1 month, you know, he's disappeared. And he suddenly is released. But we know many other people who've disappeared. We don't know where they are, whether they've been kidnapped, arrested, others who've turned up dead. That's significant. Then two other key issues, which at least when I was on the streets, just listening to young people when Parliament was being breached, two key issues, which are very important to be dealt with, far more important than what's happening to civil society, which is the president is confronted not with a political crisis, but a governance crisis, in that people don't believe him. That's huge. You know, he's the chief executive of Kenya Inc. He has to be believed. He has to be able to say, I'm going to switch off the lights tomorrow, and people believe him. That's a big problem, and it's only him who can fix that. Secondly, there's been a huge amount of debate about the finance bill. You know, and it's important, but it's clear now, and just listening to young people on the streets, that the finance bill was merely a trigger to a more fundamental issue around corruption. And again, the person at the center of that web is the president. And I've listened to all the statements that he has made since this crisis broke out. It's an issue that he tends to avoid. Until he can confront it in his own office very directly, then I think we're going to be dancing around some of the fundamental issues that I think are being raised by our young people. And, you know, it doesn't matter how many new cabinets or new ministers are brought in, the skepticism is fundamental, and the head of state himself is confronted with a governance crisis that he must address, in that people no longer believe him. That's very important. It has consequences for all of us as Kenyans, that you know, we don't trust the word of the chief executive of the country.